Today is May 22nd, 2023. My name is Rob Carr of Kalamazoo Right to Life, and this is Pro-Life Week. Well, only one thing today on the program. This morning, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott has thrown his hat in the ring to challenge Donald Trump and a few others for the Republican nomination for president. And this is a good development. Tim Scott is a remarkable man, and his personal narrative is very compelling. I mean, the man really did come from abject poverty. He was talking about it this morning. He grew up in a 700 square foot apartment with his grandparents, and they were very poor, very, very poor family in the South. During the last stages of the Jim Crow era. And, I've heard people say, that Abraham Lincoln came from poverty. And, that's not completely true. Yeah, he lived in a small log cabin, but his father was not necessarily destitute. There were a lot of people in the same strata as the Lincoln family in rural Kentucky in 1809. And his father was not destitute. He was not in abject poverty. Despite what people say that Lincoln was born in poverty. He was, I would say, lower class, but poverty, no, that really was not true. But Tim Scott, yes, the man was born in poverty, and he has risen to become a U.S. Senator. And the man is very, very pro-life. I mean, he is one of the top 3 or 4 pro-life senators in the nation. And you could hardly find a better ally than Tim Scott. Now, remember, you're dealing with a national media that looks at everything through the lens of race and identity politics. So if you're watching people like Joy Reid on MSNBC, you'll probably hear her refer to him as Uncle Tim, as in Uncle Tom, a racial slur. Because she's already done this before with the other hugely influential and prominent Black conservative, Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. She has referred to him as Uncle Clarence. Whenever you throw that moniker Uncle before that person's name, it automatically puts a racial slant and a slur on that person's character. So Uncle Clarence is a reference to Uncle Tom from the book Uncle Tom's Cabin. And she will probably say Uncle Tim just to attack him because she doesn't like his politics. How can a Black person in 2023 be a conservative Republican? That can't be true. It just cannot be true to her. But it is true. Tim Scott is a very conservative politician from South Carolina. And he is a very optimistic guy. I mean, he's not looking at victimhood. He's looking at opportunity. He's looking at hope. He's looking at how America has changed in the last 50, 60 years. And if you're a poor minority born in poverty, you can still rise to the top. You still can. It may not be easy. There may be a lot of hard work involved. But he is living proof that a poor Black man living in South Carolina, which historically has been very, very antagonistic to Black people. I mean, that's where the Civil War started at Fort Sumter, in the harbor of Charleston in 1861. It's where it all started. It's where that man entered that black church a few years ago and shot and killed 7 or 8 or 9 black people just attending the Bible study. And his motive was purely racial. I mean, there are a lot of racist people, not just in the South. I'm not going to say that it's a majority. I do not believe America is a racist country. I do not believe that. Are there racists in this country? Yes, America has plenty of them. But it has plenty of people on both sides of the aisle who despise other people. I mean, even speaking about abortion, the abortion lobby, they can't stand pro-lifers. We are the enemy because we are, from their point of view, denying women's rights to control their own bodies. And in the process, to kill their unborn children. That's beside the point to them, because to them, the unborn child does not exist. The only person that exists in an abortion is the woman. She just needs to get rid of whatever's in there. And unfortunately, what is within her womb is a living soul, a living person created by God. So getting back to Tim Scott, he may be facing an uphill battle against Donald Trump. The rumor is that Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida is going to enter the race sometime this week. That remains to be seen. But if he does, he is a very strong candidate too. And I've mentioned before, he's kind of my candidate. But right now, on May 22nd, with Ron DeSantis not a viable candidate or an official candidate, Tim Scott probably would get my vote. I really do like Tim Scott. I really, really, really like Tim Scott. He's a great friend of the pro-life movement. So, short program today. With that, I will let you go, and I'll see you next time.